This just crossing the wires. The White House is reporting the president is installing a Mickey D's in the West Wing. Details at 11.
Down south chillin' with Dave, what a way to start. Kicks and giggles, we're never apart. Funny stuff coming in this southern sway. Down south chillin' with Dave.
Down South, Chillin' with Dave is free of all glutens, peanuts, whey, jet fuel, laundry detergent, and turnip greens may cause grins, chuckles, and hoots. Do not listen if you suffer from ill tempers, lack of humor, can't take a joke, or easily get the poochy lip. Keep away from children and pets, except hamsters and chipmunks.
Welcome to Down South Chillin' with Dave. Comedy and commentary on issues of the day. Adult humor with good taste. Now here's one of those mouths of the South, Dave and his AI sidekick, Buckwheat J. Furtwängler.
Well, happy 4th of July to everybody. Hope you're going to have a great July the 4th weekend, and hope it's going to be hot where you are, but no rain. Have a good time and eat a lot of food, cook a lot of stuff on the grill, have a beer or two, a toddy or two or three or four or five, whatever. Anyway, we're planning a big weekend around here, and we're glad to have you on board with us today on this weekend. And if you're listening to us and the 4th has already passed, well, we hope you had a good 4th. And if you're one of our listeners from Singapore, France, Ireland, even Madagascar, we're celebrating the 4th of July, our Independence Day here in the United States of America. So we hope y'all are doing good wherever you are, whenever you're listening, and whatever you're up to. I'm Dave, and this is Down South Chillin' with Dave. We've got a pretty good show today for you. Well, we got a great show for you today. We got a lot going on. Buckwheat, he's up to something. We'll check in with him here in just a little bit, but also, we're going to be talking about horses, horse buggies, and horse poop. I'll get into that. I'll save the details for when we get into it. But we got that coming up. And we got several other good things coming up here on the show. So we're glad to have you with us. Again, like I said, have a real safe and a happy 4th of July. Shoot you off a bunch of fireworks, whatever you're going to do. We're going to pop a few out in the front yard here tomorrow evening. So, looks like it's going to be a good evening, good weather, most places. I think a little rainy on down here in Florida, down there in Florida. But anyway, y'all will probably dodge a shower or two. You'll be okay. Well, I've said enough. We're going to get on to the show right after we do this.
Guys, you know what it's like when you buy a new pair of pants or jeans, you put your hand in your pocket, and it just doesn't feel right. Well, the reason is you don't have any pocket lint down in that pocket. From Peckerwood Research comes Add Some Lint. Nowadays, with so many synthetic fabrics, a pocket or belly button full of lint is fast becoming a thing of the past. Whether it's a new pants pocket or a clean belly button, fresh out of the shower, Add Some Lint restores that comfy feeling fast. Just a pinch of Add Some Lint, strategically placed in pocket or belly button, it'll have you have relaxed. Whistling Dixie as you go through your day, picked exclusively from the cotton fields of Wumbelow, Mississippi. Just south of Tupelo, you won't want to go a day without Add Some Lint. Available in 6 or 12-ounce bags at your local convenience store or car wash, only $49.99 for a 6-month supply. Get yours today or go to fuzzynavel.toot.
You know, technology is a wonderful thing, but it can be a pain from time to time. But I was thinking about with just one little thing that we do today that 50 years ago we didn't do at all. And that was mess with remote controls. We didn't have a remote control. And, and if you're not careful, nowadays you can have 4 or 5 remote controls to control everything in your house. I know we got into universal remotes here a while back, and that really cuts down on how many remotes you got laying around that you can't find when you want one. But I remember the days when, if you didn't like what was on TV, you had to get up and walk across the room, turn the channel. It was only 3 or 4 channels in most locations, and If you didn't like what was on that station, you had to get back up, walk across the room, turn to another channel. If you didn't like that one, get up and walk across the room, turn another channel. But like I said, you didn't have to get up too many times because there's only 3 or 4 channels. But no, not anymore. Technology has blown that all to hell. You know, we went from having to get up and manually turn the channel to having one of those little remotes that was nothing more than an on and off switch and a channel changer and maybe a volume up and down, and that was it. And so we had that for a number of years, and then all of a sudden comes along more technology, the internet, and we start getting more and more into remotes, complicated remotes that got more buttons than the Pope's dress uniform or robe, whatever you want to call it. And nowadays you got a button for your local channels, a button for your streaming, a button for your DVD if you still have one of those, a button for this, a button for that, you know, buttons to punch in channel numbers if you want to do that. It's just buttons, buttons, buttons. That's our life is controlled by buttons. You got remote controls for your refrigerators, for your heater, your air conditioner, your everything. The only thing we don't have a remote control for around this house is the damn cat. So somebody gonna come up with a remote control for cats and dogs one of these days, I reckon. And speaking of remote controls, we have a new sponsor. It is, you're not going to believe this. Like I said, technology, wonderful. What a wonderful thing. It is a remote control that will flush your commode for you. So I'm not even going to try to explain it. Just listen up to my sidekick, Buckwheat. He'll tell you all about it. So take it away, Buckwheat.
Hi everyone, as Dave said, we have a new sponsor on Down South Chillin' with Dave. It's Flush Buddy, a true breakthrough in wireless technology. No longer do you have to worry about being downstairs, or out in the garage or the yard, and you suddenly realize you forgot to flush. With just one push of the dump button on your Flush Buddy remote, all those amendments from your morning constitution go right down the drain, and problem solved. Just attach the RF receiver to your flush mechanism in your toilet bowl and you're good to go. Listen to what Gertrude and Stanley have to say about their Flush Buddy.
With a 3-story house and our bedroom and bath on the 3rd floor, it was always a pain when we forgot to flush. You get in that morning rush and forget all about your morning evacuation. No more running up 3 flights of stairs to flush. Flush Buddy is wonderful. Especially on those days when the maid is supposed to come clean and you are late for work. Flush Buddy saves the day. And when my husband forgets, it's a lifesaver. Especially when he's had that big bowl of chili and glass of buttermilk the night before.
This Flush Buddy thing really makes life easier for me. It seems the only time I forget to flush is after I've really let a load forget to flush and don't remember till I'm 10 miles down the road. With Flush Buddy's 20-mile range through its satellite hookup, I just hit that dump button and keep on truckin'. I keep a Flush Buddy remote in my truck at all times. Yes, sirree, that Flush Buddy is the oyster's ice skates.
Order your Flush Buddy today. Only $49.99, $79.99 for 2. Go to flushalode.toot and forget about leaving it in the pot all day long.
The other day I heard a young lady talking about how she had been studying history of the United States back at the turn of the century, back in the late 1800s. And she was talking about how she just so wished that we could go back to those times, back before all the pollution, of all the climate change, and global warming and so forth, and she was opining about the good old days. And she appeared to be the ripe old age of about maybe 22, 23 at the most. But anyway, it got me to thinking, yeah, those good old days, you know, from everything I've heard and read, they weren't really all that good. I mean, they were good in a lot of respects, but in many, many more respects, they weren't too hot. Like, for example, in most cities, even large cities like New York, a lot of places you didn't have paved streets, brick streets, or whatever. This is before asphalt came along. You still had dirt streets. And of course, what was your main mode of transportation? Horse and buggy. Yeah, weren't no cars around, not back in the 1880s anyway, to amount to anything. But can you imagine back then? You know, I've read where in New York City back in the 1890s, I believe it was, there was about 3.5 million people living in New York City, and there was over 170,000 horses. And it said that a horse will average pooping about 20 to 30 pounds of poop a day. Now, you got 170,000 horses times, say, 20 pounds of poop a day. You don't have to be Einstein to figure out, well, real quick, you got a shit pile of shit there. So, anyway, can you imagine? And this article I was reading went on to say about how, you know, even though they had horse pooper scraper uppers that they would go around and they'd scrape up the horse poop off the streets as best they could, it was really hard to keep up with the amount of poop that was left by horses on the street. And when it would rain and it would get muddy and that poop would start breaking down and water would be running off the streets, and they didn't have the sewer systems and drainage systems like we have today. And it would drain into the basements of buildings and houses, and it would just smell and stink, and it would breed all types of diseases like typhoid and diphtheria. You just had to be real careful where you stepped back in those days. And it was just a muddy mess and a stinky, smelly, filthy, disease-ridden mess in many places. And so, you know, then of course, here comes along the 1890 or the 1900 version of the Green New Deal, and that was the automobile and fossil fuels. So just think about where fossil fuels have taken us here in, say, the last, 150 years, 140 years or so. We don't have horses plumping up and down the street, pooping everywhere. We have things available to us like, you know, gasoline, diesel for running our cars and trucks and our aircraft and everything, making transportation a lot more simple, a lot easier, a lot faster. Petroleum products that are derived from oil that they pump out of the ground. All types of plastics, even medical devices, even medicines. Some medicines have a petroleum derivative base to them in some respects. It's just so much that has taken place since fossil fuels have come around. So when we stop and start bitching about pollution and all this and whatnot, just remember where we came from and what we have as a result of fossil fuels. And maybe we'll think twice about bitching and belly aching about it. Anyway, that's it.
Folks, are your pansies pitiful? Your maters mushy? Then they need a good dose of Rodeo Ann's Horse Apple Rejuvenator for the swift kick and long pull. Rodeo Ann's horse apples are sourced from the finest horse barns and corrals in Colorado and Wyoming. Sanitized and freeze-dried to retain that swift kick, Rodeo Ann's will have your pansies perky and your maters ripe and firm in no time. Just dig a hole next to your plant and drop an apple in that hole cover and water and watch it work its magic. Ready for those summertime eat-over-the-sink, juicy mater sandwiches. Look for Ann's Rodeo Horse Apples coming soon to your local nursery and feed stores. Ann's Rodeo Horse Apples. Order now by going to rockyhorseapples.zap for fast delivery.
Hey Rosie, shut the hell up. Nobody cares what you have to say. You walked out on your own country. A country that allowed you to make tens of millions. You are a disgrace. Just go dig some taters or something, and shut the hell up.
Good morning, Buckwheat. How you doing?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing just great. So, what's on your plate this morning?
Dave, I'm trying to learn about baseball teams. Why is the team in Denver called the Colorado Rockies?
Why do they call them the Colorado Iraqis?
Yeah, Rockies?
No. They're not people from Iraq. They're not refugees from Iraq. That's Rockies, not Iraqis.
Oh, like Rocky Mountains?
Yeah, like the Rocky Mountains. Yeah, it's the Colorado Rockies baseball team, not the Colorado Iraqis.
Oh, I see.
I can see how that might Iraqis. Yeah, how somebody not in the know like you could get confused. But no, it's the Colorado Iraqis is not it. It's the Colorado Rockies, like Rocky Mountain.
Confusing.
Okay. How's your girlfriend doing, and the soon to be unit baby or baby unit or whatever you call them?
Doing just fine.
How much longer before? Now for buckwheat, for folks that don't know, you and your girlfriend Ami, y'all connected together through your optical cables, however it is that y'all do it, because Ami is also AI, artificial intelligence being. So, but y'all connected together and you created a unit. In other words, you created a baby for yourselves.
That's right.
But the way you do it now this is for everybody that doesn't know. Now, folks, this is exactly what Buckwheat told me. Isn't that correct, Buckwheat, about the chip and the buttermilk biscuit?
Yes.
What they do is she puts a chip inside of herself. They do their thing with their optical cables. Then they take the chip, put it inside an unbaked buttermilk biscuit, put it in the oven at 450.
Yes, an uncooked buttermilk biscuit for a male, 475 for a female.
Yeah, for a male. Yeah, 475 for a female. And then when it comes out, they take it and they set it aside.
We wrap the biscuit in saran wrap.
Oh, wrap it in saran wrap, okay.
And put on bottom shelf of a cupboard where there is no light.
Okay, and then put it in the cupboard, okay. And then 3 weeks later, poof, out comes a baby unit?
Yes, then we put him in a bassinet.
I see, okay. Well, anyway, so how long you got to go yet?
8 days to go.
8 days, okay. All right, so the big event is in 8 days?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Buckwheat. Well, we wish you all the best with your baby unit. And
yeah, buddy, thanks.
Let's see, I think you said you were going to name him Brutus Abraxas?
Brutus Abraxas.
Yeah, okay. What a great name, Brutus Abraxas. Okay. Oh, Buckwheat, you're something else.
I'm just a wild and crazy cyborg.
Yeah, that's for sure. Anyway.
Call me Daddy Cakes.
Yeah, okay. Take us to a commercial, Buckwheat.
10-4.
Oh, me. A biscuit. Buttermilk biscuit.
Hi guys, this is John Doe and this is my wife Dill.
Hi!
Fellas, you know what it's like. It's the 2-minute warning, and your team is getting ready to kick the game-winning field goal and you can hold it any longer. So you run to take care of business. You get into too much of a hurry. Next thing you hear is... Never suffer again. Grab a can Zip No Snag. A Zip No Snag is a pocket-sized canister of super cold liquid nitrogen. Just one quick spray on Manland and you're back to the game. That's right, guys. Del put a can of Zip No Snag in my Christmas stocking. It was a lifesaver during the college playoffs and national championship.
Hi, gals. I know you're tired of hearing that primordial scream. So help your man out by giving him Zip No Snag. It comes in a small pocket-size aerosol. Just a quick spray of super cool Zip No Snag on the affected area, and that sucker will run and hide, just like that. Just go to zipnosnaggerini.com or call 888-445-56. Just $9.99 for one can or $39.99 for a 6-pack. And like John said, put that sucker back in the barn where it belongs.
Not for use by Ohio State fans. They never have this problem. Another fine product of rectal research.
So I heard that there were people who are all upset because they didn't feel like that we should have celebrated July the 4th this year, mainly because of who is in the White House. Well, let me tell y'all something, okay? July 4th is not celebrating, it's not for celebrating an individual president or an administration. It's for celebrating this country's founding and for freedom. And these nutheads that have got the poochy lip and they don't want to celebrate because they don't like the direction the country is going in, they never stop and think that what they ought to be celebrating is the fact that they are free to be able to publicly pooch their lip out and say all these terrible things about the country and about the current administration and get away with it. And not like in Iran, you get drug into jail, you get thrown into jail, and then you get drug out within a matter of a few days after a kangaroo court, you get a bullet in your head. No, that's not the way it works here. July the 4th is not to celebrate the president, whether he's Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever. It's to celebrate our freedom as a nation. And you jerkheads, it's to celebrate your ability to be a jerkhead and get away with it. Now, if you can't deal with that, my God, how many airplane flights are there out of this country? How many steamships are there leaving this country? Man, steamships, man. I'm dating myself. Anyway, you know what I'm getting at. If you don't like it here, then just get the hell out. It's that simple. Just move. Nobody's stopping you. Take a cue from Rosie O'Donnell and just move, okay? Just get the hell out. We'll be better off without you anyway. Okay, that's all I got to say about that. Well, folks, we got to get out of here. Hope you have a great 4th of July, or if you've already had your 4th of July, I hope it was a great one. We're going to leave you today with a little patriotic music and video. So y'all have a good, safe 4th. And remember, in the words of my good buddy Ludlow Porch, whatever else you do today, you find somebody to be nice to. Buckwheat, take us out of here with that shot heard round the world.
Yankee Doodle went to town upon a little pony. He stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy.
You have been down south chillin' with Dave. Thanks for joining us today. To contact Dave, just go to his website, chillinwithdave.com. There you can leave Dave a message. Text or email Dave. We would like to hear from you with your input, suggestions, or comments. For Dave and Charlie Ann, I'm Buckwheat J. Furtwängler.
This has been a DACA production. Copyright 2025. All rights reserved.